Hey everyone, how's it going? I am Zarkon and I am back once again. Happy Metroid Monday. Today is a kind of special video. I was browsing Twitter and stumbled upon this tweet talking about Other M and the Metroid manga, a manga that is supposed to be canon. My knee-jerk reaction to seeing this tweet was how absurd it was to use the manga to justify Samus's PTSD and Other M, which was both horrible and unwarranted. But that is another story altogether. Anyway, the person later deleted this tweet and admitted that it was stupid in Other M. They just wanted to point out that it had happened before. However, that gave me an idea. I hadn't read the manga in years, so why not reread it again and see how it and talk about how it relates to the other games. In fact, I will leave a link to the fan translation in the description below so you all can read it as well. With that being said, let's dig in. So the art design is very good, and I think that if there were prints of the art, I would actually buy one. Seriously, kudos to the artist for doing such a great job. The childhood stages of Samus's youth was good and did a great job at forming her origin story. Seeing the murder of her colony along with her adoption by the Chozo was well written. I liked it. Kind of a jerk move though to make Ridley look like he had a shred of empathy for a second. The one panel with him looking remorseful when Samus introduces herself tricks even the reader into thinking that he might, not be all that bad. Her time with the Chozo and living with them was also pretty nice, for the most part. Samus's interactions with Old Bird and Grey Voice felt organic and were believable. The one issue I had, though, which really made me press X to doubt, was Mother Brain being a product of the Chozo. I mean, it was jarring to say the least. Granted, it was odd to learn that the Chozo made the parasitic Metroid species, but I suppose a genocidal life form isn't too far-fetched. Still, it didn't sit well with me initially. I couldn't really accept this without any in-game mention. Heck, it wasn't even until Samus Returns that I could fully accept that the Metroids were canonically a Chozo product. Sure, the manga is quote-unquote canon, but you know what else is canon? The bad writing in Other M. One scene that was a mixed bag was when Samus encountered the Iona Feria. I get that this moment was supposed to show her before she was a hardened veteran, but seeing her shoot the guns out of the hands of the creatures. Also, where were they hiding those rifles? They're space rabbits with wings. They didn't have any pockets or backpacks. They don't have any weapons, but then suddenly they have, rifles and stuff. But anyway, she shoots the weapons out of their hands, makes a pile out of them, and then burns the weapons. That just screams shonen manga trope, which irritated me. This is one of Nintendo's most serious and dark franchises, and a shonen trope manages to get in there. I guess nothing's safe from shonen manganization. Speaking of manga tropes, we've got a walking one in the next chapter. Enter Kreets, the shonen elf. However, unlike your typical male shonen protagonist, he's pretty useless and incompetent. He's really only there for comedic relief. Again, this is Metroid. At least in Other M with Anthony. While he is Anthony, he was competent and pulled his own weight and got results. Kreets is the Jar Jar of this universe. Also, two other not so important but still occurring characters are Mach, an ape guy, and Chief Hardy, the hot-headed yet comedic cop. This manga is supposed to be canon, but we never hear of them in the games ever. Let me repeat that. Ever. And I'm completely fine with that. Another thing that bothered me was that Samus was a part of the police force. At first I thought that was a translation error because she's supposed to be a Galactic Federation soldier, but no. Later on in the manga she joins, but right now though she's a space cop. She pulls people over for speeding. Sir, do you know how fast you were going? You were going 15 parsecs per hour in an 8 parsecs per hour lane. Gotta write you up for this one. She doesn't actually say that or do anything like that, but again, where in the games did it state that Samus was a cop at one point before becoming a soldier? When Samus goes to Zebes to attempt a rescue mission, I had several problems. First, Samus points her blaster at Adam Malkovich, her mentor and father figure, and threatens him to let her go. She would never do something like that in the games. It is so out of character and unexpected. I mean, unexpected, is unexpected, but it's out of character. Like, it's wrong. Also, Samus shouldn't even be going on this mission. She didn't go to Zebes until she was chosen for the Zero mission, as stated in the Zero mission instruction booklet. Also, the Galactic Federation launched an assault on Zebes before Samus was sent there. This did not happen in the manga. Let's move on, though. So, Samus eventually finds Grey Voice and learns that he is working with the space pirates. Dude, are you kidding me? What kind of M. Night Shyamalan nonsense is this? Is this supposed to be dramatic? I mean, I know it's supposed to be dramatic, but it's so in contrast with the source material. First off, the space pirates stole the Metroids from a space vessel, again, which is mentioned in the Zero Mission instruction booklet. They were not working with the Chozo. At this point, there are other inconsistencies. Well, there are other inconsistencies that also happen in other M. First, the hive mind mentality of the space pirates, and them needing a queen to function. I wouldn't be surprised if this was Sakamoto's idea, but let me tell you how this and other M have conflictions with other games. In Zero Mission, after Mother Brain is destroyed, the space pirates continue to function and behave normally. Why do I bring this up? In other freaking M, spoiler alert by the way, after Madeline is killed, the space pirates, and I think every other creature, it's been a while since I played other M, but the space pirates at least stop functioning because their queen is dead. Oh, and let's look at the Prime trilogy where they were waging war without a queen. And I wonder how Mother Brain was rebuilt in Super when they had no one to tell them to rebuild her. That doesn't make any sense at all. And then the second thing, which I guess is sort of mentioning other M, Samus is referring to the space pirates as Zebesians, which insinuates that they were natives to Zebes, but they're not. I mean, they had their base on Zebes, but they weren't from Zebes. Like, you might as well just say that when they set their base of operations on Talon 4, that they're Talonites because of that. Like, no, that's not where they're from. Even in the instruction booklet for Zero Mission, it just says that Zebes was their base of operations. That's all it was. They were not native. And heck, even sorry, I'm getting off track here, but let's get back to the manga. At this point, we come to the moment that started this whole video. Samus seeing Ridley and panicking. Yeah. Now, to the manga's credit, I can understand her having this moment. This is the first time that she's seen Ridley in years. This is their reunion, so her having PTSD in this moment is completely acceptable. I will admit that. The only thing, though, is that none of this actually happened because Samus didn't go to attack Zebes before the Federation. So pretty much this moment and everything else going forward is retconned by the game it's supposed to be, acting as a companion guide, I guess. So there's not much to say much about the rest of this mission. Grey Voice betrays Mother Brain and fails miserably. Samus eventually recovers with the help of friends. War continues to escalate. Creets is Creets. The story ends with Zero Mission up to the Mother Brain confrontation, and they couldn't spoil that second half of Zero Mission. But also, pretty much her rescue mission was supposed to take place 2 years before Zero Mission. But again, this didn't happen as per the instruction manual. Now, all in all, what did I think? Well, for an official manga, quote unquote, it has too many inconsistencies. Heck, rereading this manga hurt so much to the point that I couldn't feel anything for a while. Like, even when I was being told about like the limited run games, like announcements and stuff like that, I was just like so dead inside because of reading the manga that I couldn't feel like any sort of joy from that at all. And while the writers wouldn't know, though, the writers of the manga wouldn't know about certain things in later games, there was Fusion, there was Prime 1, and there was Zero Mission. Granted, there are some inconsistencies in the lore of the games. For example, the Zero Mission instruction booklet says that SR-388 was completely extinct. Like everything was gone and wiped out, which is wrong because, Metroid 2, going into Metroid Fusion, that really contrasts with that statement. Unless the instruction booklet was only talking about the surface being wiped out, and that the caverns weren't yet explored. But even then, some cave dwellers occasionally pop up on the surface. However, unlike the manga though, the games are the primary source and hold more credibility than secondary sources. It might be considered canon by Nintendo, but I will consider it more of a fanfic than anything else. But that will do it for today. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. I sincerely appreciate it. Go play some Metroid today. So until next time everyone, I am Zeracon signing off. Have a good one.